Earlier in the show, I explained how ADOT cut camera feeds more than 600 times in the last couple years. We asked the state agency for records dating back to 2019, but the logs they sent us only start documenting cuts in May of 2020. I looked into how often states surrounding us cut their feeds, and they tell me it's not often. Or neighboring states like New Mexico, Nevada, and Colorado have their own traffic cameras. Each state operates their feeds a little different.
There are really very few reasons that we would cut the feed, only if it's just not appropriate for the public to see.
It is rare that the cameras are suppressed. It does sometimes happen that cameras are momentarily suppressed if necessary for public privacy and public safety.
Why is our state cutting feeds so much more often compared to other states?
I can't speak for other states, and we're looking at one of the largest metropolitan areas here in the country with rapidly growing population, rapidly growing freeway system, and rapidly growing number of cameras that go with that.
Nick says ADOT cuts feeds to keep the public from seeing disturbing or violent scenes. Attorney Benjamin Taylor believes the community deserves to see critical moments happening on our freeways.
Why are they being turned off when this is evidence to show whether or not a person did right or wrong? And this helps a judge and a jury to make critical decisions in the court of law.
For example, according to ADOT's own records, they turned off the feed several times in 2020 so DPS could use freeway cameras to monitor protesters. In July of 2020, logs revealed DPS and an ADOT supervisor were monitoring demonstrators very closely on the Mill Avenue Bridge in Tempe, zooming in on people without their knowledge, even though there isn't a direct path to the Loop 202.
I think it is deeply troubling given the history in this country of inappropriate and unnecessary police surveillance of peaceful civil rights protesters, that this would be continuing now.
The intention of these cameras are to look at traffic accidents and freeway accidents. However, it looks like law enforcement used these cameras to spy and try to control what protesters were doing.
If somebody's going to get on a freeway or something like that, or there's going to be an issue of violence, potential violence, again, regardless of the genesis of the protest, we are simply not going to take the opportunity to see that or show that to the general public.
Logs show ADOT officers cut feeds 15 times in just the first 4 days of this year. The reasons vary: wrong-way drivers, high-risk traffic stops, vehicle fires, even pedestrians walking on the freeway. And when the cameras go dark, there's no way to record, no way to go back and review what happened. Nick says there are no current plans to change the procedure.
The assumption that DPS is doing something wrong in those situations, when in fact, while the biggest concern may be what is somebody else doing. If this is a high-risk stop, we don't want to show any violence, no matter who perpetrates it.
We asked DPS for an interview on camera. They denied several of our requests, but did answer our questions in writing. Something interesting: troopers who sit in the ADOT Operations Center don't have body-worn cameras, but they do plan to issue them to all state troopers in the future. So will the troopers monitoring the feeds be wearing those cameras? Well, Yetta and Jamie, that's something we will be closely following.
Yeah, be interesting to hear those conversations leading up to that.
Yeah, very interesting information brought to light here. Brittany, thank you.